All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I just want to, say really quickly that this is, my deepest wish, desire, and intention is to bring you resources, support, wonderful guest speakers who have wisdom, teachings, healing energies, processes, all that wonderful stuff to assist you so that you can thrive in your life, so that you can heal the wounded parts of you, the wounded stories that you carry, and so that we can all live a much better life and we can all really have more peace in our lives and know who we truly are. So that is my deepest wish, desire, and intention. And with that, for those of you watching live on YouTube or who are watching later on the replay, thank you so much for being here. Please do subscribe, hit like, whatever, comment, whatever you got to do, so you can watch all the shows. We normally have shows Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but of course, sometimes we have them on other days. So just, stay tuned and hit the bell to be notified of the new videos when they show up. And today, my good friend Susan Kennard is with us, and we're so excited. She is going to be talking about aligning to your most optimal timeline by releasing traumas and emotional triggers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it is important to heal our traumas now, and how does healing the trauma within ourselves help our timelines to shift? How do the Galactic Crystal Healing Chambers help us to heal and align to our ascension? And what do these healing chambers do for the collective? Why do we need to heal so quickly now? And healing ourselves speeds up our mission here on Earth. We're going to talk about that. How can we help the collective at this time? What is our part in the awakening journey of love? How does healing trauma help you manifest? And our inner world is a reflection of our outer world. All that and more. For those of you who don't know Susan, she's been on our show many, many times. We love having her here. We always have wonderful high vibe shows. Her readings are spot on as well. So we will be doing some mini readings as well. So you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. So for those of you who don't know Susan, she is known as a spiritual scientist, a specialist in early childhood trauma, and originally was a psychologist and psychotherapist in child protection within local authority. She has over 20 years of extensive experience working with trauma, including veterans and PTSD. Susan is a published author, and her work, Awaken the Light Within Your Heart, A Guide to Self-Healing, has helped many be on their spiritual journey and heal from within. Susan has appeared on national TV, newspapers, magazines, and on other shows where she talks about her transformative work and teachings. Susan is a professional speaker and presenter and speaks publicly at conferences about her research and new innovations within her work. So I'm so glad that Susan is back with us today. And I know you've been busy, Susan, today, like always, but I'm so glad that you were able to take the time to be with us and share your wisdom with us today. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Susan back to the show. Susan, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. What do they say? Ask a busy woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Women get things done. Thank you so
everyone.
much for having me. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So I did say, at the beginning, I said we were going to take live caller questions. We're going to do mini readings, and that they could, raise your hand or they can type their question in the chat. But I'm realizing that sometimes just by putting their questions in the chat is not enough. We like to talk to people. We like to see people. We like to we like to hear their voice, etc. So I will let you, handle that if you want to, if you can take questions from the chat or not, or if you need them to physically raise their hand. So, so first of all, I wanted to talk really quickly. We were talking about the eclipse, which is today and tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, but I'm not sure. And just the energies for the past couple of weeks have been so intense. I was sick. You also weren't feeling well at one point. I mean, there's so much going on, and physically, we're affected. Emotionally and mentally, we're being affected. So can you just talk a little bit briefly about that, and then we'll get into the meat of our conversation?
Sure. So I'm an intuitive astrologer as well, and so what I do is I have a look at what's going on in the planets, but also what the guides tell me. And so what I really feel this is about is the next optimal timeline. Okay, so ironically, that's what we're talking about. How aligned is that? But essentially, we are shifting the things that we no longer need. So I think what this new moon eclipse did, and we had a really strong full moon in Libra as well. And I happen to have a stellium, 5 planets in Libra. So of course it was going to affect me majorly, and it did. But what was really good was that whatever you've been going through, and this is for everybody here, whatever you've been going through in the sense emotionally or physically, it was a really good healing event that happened, because that healing event allowed us to actually renew. And it's almost like, as I'm talking about it, the guides are kind of showing me, it's almost like shedding a skin. And I have spoken to many people, and they've said they've made decisions about their life. I've made some as well, but we're making these decisions, and these decisions are kind of happening among people. So people are still waking up in the morning thinking, I really need to do that, or this just feels right to me. And I think that's what's happening with this eclipse. And it is today. It's today and tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. So it's interesting how we booked this at this time. And I never look at the astrology. I never look at it, but it always seems to line up. So interesting. So eclipse is basically something that's been hidden from you. So perhaps something that's been hidden from you, haven't seen about yourself. So perfect, about trauma. So maybe you didn't see something about yourself, and it's coming to the fore now. And over the next week or so, it's going to be much clearer. We've been in this energy for the last week or two. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. And, I always say when we are going through these types of experiences, ask the questions. Okay, what is going on here? What is this trying to teach me? What am I not seeing? And I say seeing, but perceiving, so it's like, I always ask that question. Okay, what am I, what is it? What am I not willing to even receive? Right. And, so I was actually in a training all weekend long. So there was a lot of healing and training, and it's like, everything came up. My deepest wounds came up to be healed, to be seen, to be acknowledged, all that wonderful stuff. So it was fantastic. I have to say, it was wonderful, so as painful as sometimes things are and difficult, and, being willing to be aware of it and see it is going to change the way you move forward in life. Absolutely. So now,
and the perception of yourself, which is key, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about you. That's what I say. It's all about you, your perception of you, your reality, etc. So, so now let's talk about our, how can we align to our most optimal timeline? And you're right. It's by releasing those traumas. It's by releasing those emotional triggers, by having a perception and awareness of ourselves and reality that is greater than it was in the past, right? And we do that by healing. We receive those awarenesses by healing.
Yeah. And it's frequency. So, I often talk about it as, we are the mirror of our experience. So, we just imagine ourselves as this mirror walking about the world, and what we're reflecting out to the world is what we get back. So and that's sometimes hard to kind of acknowledge, especially if something is difficult. But that doesn't mean that we intend for things to be bad or difficult or anything. But on some level, we needed to experience that. And Laura, with Richard and things like that, you never know why you need to go through these things. But somewhere there's a reflection, and that may be your soul's journey. It could be something, as we've talked about, with trauma. And so what we do is we clean up our frequency. And I call it dusty bits, and the guides talk about that. And so as we're cleaning up our frequency, we are reflecting out to the world a more abundant, a more finer frequency. And it also shifts our guides as well. So, as we are raising our vibration, new guides step in, new beings come in to help us and work with us. And that just happens very, very quickly as we shift our frequency.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it happens automatically. It's not like we have to ask for, hey, can you guys come in now?
No, it happens. It happens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, even like, when we are recognizing where we're limited and our limitations, there's no judgment, it's like whatever we are experiencing, there's no judgment. So, because I tend to beat myself up. I mean, I'll be honest, I tend to beat myself up. I don't know if any of you all do that, but I tend to. I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm much better. But in the past, I was very judgmental about myself, but I'm much better now. So I always like to say that, because sometimes people don't realize that they are being hard on themselves, that they are beating themselves up. And for me, it's like just accepting. It's like, yeah, this is what's showing up, because somewhere in my reality, in my inner world, in my inner reality, there's some belief system that's still running that is not, incongruent with how I want to be now, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's hidden, isn't it, until we see it in our external world. So
Yeah.
it's hidden to us, or it's hidden until we see it in our body as a message.
Yeah.
And then we can either listen or choose not to listen. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's something going on with us where we need to be acknowledging what our outside world is, so that we can then work with the inner world, because it's all connected. There's no separation, is there?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. So the reason why it's important to heal our traumas now is so that we can change our outer reality, right? We change our inner reality by healing those traumas within, and that automatically starts to change our outer reality as well, what we're projecting out.
And it's also our, the density of emotion, isn't it? So if we imagined, apples and steamed fish, if we like fish, and fruit and things like that, and vegetables, if we imagine that in one hand, that would be quite light. But if we imagine curry, and I love curry, so I'm not saying anything bad about curry, but if imagine we ate that all day long, that's a heavy emotion. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, we ate curry, which we could, but if we ate
I'm sorry, I have to laugh, because when I go to Canada, I tell my mom, I said, Mom, I cannot eat Indian food every day. I cannot eat Indian food for like twice a day. I cannot do it. My stomach does not like Indian food that much.
Yeah, I mean, I love Indian food, but probably not for every meal of the day, for every day. But so if we imagine we're holding, let's just say, fear or guilt or shame or something like that, those major things that we tend to hold, if we're holding that, it's almost like we are holding that frequency, that energy of eating curry all day long, or pizzas or something. And it's okay to do that occasionally, but you don't want to hold it the whole time. So when we start to release those, we are lighter in our field, as well as lighter in our emotions. So essentially we're shifting that. So that's how I liken it, because if you've got something within you and you don't even know where it comes from, sometimes talking about it isn't the way forward, because you can just talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. But now we have this incredible way of working, which is the energy work that many people do, including yourself, Laura, and we're able to help that frequency without needing to necessarily know the actual physical trauma. That's sometimes helpful, but we don't actually have to know. And I think if we get into the, is it this, is it that, we're getting out of our place of knowing that we are this incredible being of light, and this is just dust in our field.
I love that. It's just dust in our field. So it makes it less significant, right? Because otherwise we tend to make everything so significant and give it so much meaning, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So, I have participated in and, joined in the being present in, I don't know how to word it right now, but the Galactic Crystal Healing Chambers, right? You've placed me in there yourself because of what I was going through just last week. So how, sorry?
With your permission.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. But how so I understand that, those can help us to heal physically, help our emotions, help heal some of our traumas that we've had in the past. So, right. So they can help us to heal and align to our ascension. But can you talk a little bit about that? I know it's a little bit about like the frequency we were just talking about, shifting our frequencies, upgrading and aligning us to our next higher, I guess, version of ourselves even.
I think the major thing, if I think about the crystal chambers, and the reason why I feel they were given to me a couple of years ago and downloaded, is because they come from ancient times, and mostly Atlantean times, and they come from those times where we used to just walk into a crystal cave and we would just heal ourselves. And so now this is the the part of our life where we need to just kind of not get too connected to a story. And so what the chambers do is it allows us to come out of our head of the story and kind of surrender in a way. So step in and just say, well, look, I don't know. I have no idea, like we did, Alara the other day. You have no idea where it comes from, no idea if it's food poisoning in your case, no idea, but I'm just going to immerse myself in this. And so visually, if you imagine them, they're sort of like a crystal cave. And so people can imagine this. They're like a crystal cave, and they've got crystal beds inside. So they're crystal healing beds. And you step in, and your soul decides, and you step in, and you're surrounded by the beings. So different chambers have different beings, but always Melchizedek is in there. And so it always points you to your mission. So as much as it might be the physical healing, emotional healing, whatever it might be, they all are assisting you, as you said, Laura, in your frequency, but walking you towards remembering who you truly are. So it's healing along the way. So it's almost like it doesn't matter what it is that is affecting you. The crystal healing chambers allow you to surrender that and step in and just say, okay, well, just gonna hand it over, basically. Yeah.
So so why is it so important right now? Because like, you've been stressing how important it is right now. Is there something else going on right now that we need to be aware of? That because like some of us have been healing for years.
Oh yeah, same.
Right?
Yeah, same, absolutely. So why it's really important right now, and it doesn't mean today, right now, but right now in this path of ascension, this is my opinion, this is what guides tell me, is that we are shifting from this old paradigm of the old earth. So if we can just, I'm very visual. So if you just imagine that the old earth is like a ball of density that might be gray, let's say, yeah? And that is full of fear and control and shame and dictate. And perhaps the new earth, the new golden platinum frequency of earth that we are standing in and creating is full of unconditional love, peace, harmony, abundance, and alignment to why we're here. So if we imagine that most of our feet are in this one, especially people listening here, most of our feet are in the new earth, but occasionally one of our feet might hop over to the old earth, yeah? Especially if we watch the news or, we feel like we're being told what to do, whatever it is, and we're losing our power or giving our power away, yeah, in that moment, then we step over into that old earth. So what I feel is really important now is for us to align more fully to the most optimal timeline of why we're here and who we are, which is an incredible being of light, choosing to be human, and that we know that we're not on our own, that we know that we have the ability to listen to our body, to heal ourselves, and to listen to what we need through facilitators, of course, but we truly are divine healing being. And so the Holy Grail is us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel that it's really important right now is for us all to remember that and to actually really practice understanding that we have everything we need within us. Yeah. And we
Absolutely.
don't have to step back into the old paradigm of control and dictatorship and, being afraid. There really isn't anything to be afraid of. If we stripped away, and I often talk about this in my groups, but if you imagine, we have this jacket, which is our physical body. And if we were to take that jacket off just for a moment, our soul within, our true light within, it wouldn't have any fear. Mm-hmm. Because it knows exactly why it's here. It knows exactly why it's chosen this body. It knows why it's chosen to live in a particular country or be brought up by particular parents. It knows all of that. It knows why it chose that partner, why it didn't choose that partner, all that stuff. So we just take the jacket off for a second in that moment, go, wow, yeah, of course there's no fear, because there's nothing to fear. And it's only when we put the jacket back on that all of the sum of the parts of our ancestors, our past lives, our childhood is all held within that frequency. So I really like that analogy. And I think that if we can just, go into that place of knowing and remembering who we are, and being assisted by facilitators, of course, but the Galactic Crystal Healing Chambers. The energy, people say to me when they step into them, they actually viscerally feel it a lot of the time, or they just feel a wave of peace or a wave of calmness, or something just shifts very, very quickly. And I dip in and out of them all the time, and my children are in them, and my animals are in them. There's, it's just the way I live my life, really. And so for me, I think the key thing is to help and assist humanity. So this is for everybody, to remember that we are in this incredible experience of ascension, which is expansion, and that we are meant to have everything we need. We're meant to have an abundant life. We're meant to be given everything we need so we can carry out our mission. Yeah.
And I think that's
long answer to a question.
No, it's wonderful. Thank you. I love the wisdom, right? And sometimes a lot of the stuff we need to hear again, right? As a reminder for ourselves. But it really truly is about remembering our mission. And our mission does not have to be this big, huge thing,
No,
right? But
absolutely.
it is, for me, the mission truly is about remembering who we are, that we are beings of light, that we're always connected to spirit, we're always supported, etc., right? And that we are abundant beings, who, for some of us, it's, yes, we have challenging experiences. We have had challenging experiences. But the challenging experiences do not define us. That is not who we are. Those are just experiences that we've had, right? So, and for some of us, our mission is to, some of those things we have created, whether it's from this lifetime or past lifetime, because I feel like some of the stuff that I've been through personally was residual stuff from previous lifetimes. That is,
absolutely,
being cleared away now, with my awareness, understanding, and the healing, etc., that I've been doing, right? So, that is why we all are here, to ascend, to go through the ascension process. And it's all different levels, layers, phases. I don't like that terminology, but you know what? We're not all at the same place, but we're all going to the same place, and there's no time, really. Right.
Yeah, and there's no hierarchy. I mean, I think that I'm sure Roshni's listening to this, because I talk about this a lot, is that I don't like the whole higher level thing. So, I don't like guru. I hate that idea in itself anyway. But I believe that we are all equal in that perspective. But yes, frequencies, of course, will be different. And other guides will work with other people for reasons that we won't know. Different people will come in with different energies. I work with the Galactics a lot, and now Mary Mag stepped in literally this week to work with me, which is beautiful. I didn't expect it. So it's constantly changing. So we have different frequencies depending on what we are meant to be doing in this world. And like you said, we don't all have to be, channels for healing. Our mission our mission might be just to hold space for other people to do what they're, meant to do. It doesn't mean you actually have to have a title of, spiritual person. You don't have to have that. Is that your sound or mine?
It must be yours. I'm not hearing anything. Anybody
Gone
hearing
now.
anything weird? I'm not hearing
weird.
anything.
It's gone now. Ooh. So essentially, so what I'm saying about this is it's really important to remember, don't judge yourself by somebody else. And I think that's really, really important, don't judge yourself for a start, right? But don't compare yourself to anybody else. And I think that's really, really important, because we do spend our life, definitely as children and growing up, oh, that person's got more than me, or that person's done more than me, or I wish I'd done that, or I wish I'd done that. And you can have an achievement, you can have a goal or an intention, but not to judge yourself on where that person is. Because, my background, my history, I hit the bottom place that you could ever hit, being a single parent with, leaving an abusive relationship, with 2 babies that I had no idea how I was going to support financially. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. Yeah, anyone can do it. Yes, it was a beating and a heavy tapping noise. Exactly, I got that. Thank you, Brenda. That's what I was hearing. So yeah, really important not to put anyone on a pedestal and to remember that you are equal to whoever you are with.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, it's not about putting anybody on a pedestal. Everybody is on their own journey, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I look at everybody as an individual having their own journey. Some people are like guides, you know, I mean, like if we can have guides in the spiritual world, we can have guides in this physical reality too, but it doesn't mean we're less than, right? And that's the thing we have to get. We're not less than somebody else. We've just had different experiences, and they might have some wisdom that we don't have yet that they can help us with. But it doesn't make them better or greater, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so what about the collective, right? So we know that the collective also what's the word, influences us, right? So when we are doing our healing work, we are affecting the collective. But the healing chambers, you know, how do they affect the collective?
Because if we are shifting our frequency and standing more in our frequency of light, we are then reflecting that out. So every person that we are actually connecting with, either energetically or emotionally or psychically, whatever it is, or physically in the supermarket, is actually seeing and feeling our frequency. And I think that's really important to remember, is that as you change, everyone else around you changes. And I know we've definitely noticed that with families, that if you know, people often say to me, what have you done to my husband, or what have you done, you know, to my children? And it's not anything done to them, it's just that you've shifted. So as you've shifted, they then respond to you in a completely different way. Yeah, which is really exciting. So it all starts within. Yeah, it really does. I mean, at the book fair today, there were some people, and they were saying, can you write on a post-it note what you think the most important thing is for bringing peace to humanity, which I thought was really interesting. So they had this board and they were asking passers-by, and there were many things written on there. And what I wrote was, as you awaken the light within your own heart, you allow others to do the same. And my book's called Awaken the Light Within Your Heart, right? So I thought that was really interesting that they wanted people to post that. And they said to me, you're the first person that's actually been positive about it. So many people would walk by and don't expect there to be inner peace. They don't expect there to be amazing things happening in this world. Yeah, that tells you something, doesn't it? It tells you that we've got a fair amount of work to do from the perspective of ourselves. And if we can work with ourselves and raise our vibration and keep our vibration frequency high and light, imagine how many more people can actually be affected by that. Yeah,
absolutely. Our frequency, our vibration influences everybody else around us, and the collective and the planet, right? And we forget that when we get caught up in our dramas and our traumas and our stories. We forget that we are affecting and influencing everything else around us.
Yeah, animals as well. You know, your dogs are really quiet now. You know,
yes, thank goodness. Yes,
but,
they're resting now.
They're in the healing energy. But essentially, you know, our animals respond to us. And then if you notice that if you there's no judgment with this, but if an owner has a dog that's aggressive, then quite often if you look to the owner, you'll find that the owner might be on edge, or they might be, you know, finding some difficulties in their life at that time, and the dog is reacting to that owner. So it's the same with everything, isn't it? You know, your children, your husband, your wife, your friends, your work colleagues. Every situation gets affected.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. So it's so important for us to really be conscious and aware of what are we thinking, what are we feeling, you know, are we, you know, uplifted right now, or are we down, and without judgment, and then we can change it, right? And that's the thing, we can always change it.
Absolutely.
You know, so there's still a lot of work for all of us to do. So, so I mentioned at the beginning, but I'm going to mention again really quickly that Susan and her guides are going to be doing some live readings and they're going to do an inner child healing process on the call later as well. So we're excited about that. We all love healing processes. I love healing processes. And of course, I said at the beginning, Susan, that your readings are always so spot on. So do you want to take some questions? Yeah, no pressure.
Then.
No pressure. No. Do you want to take some questions?
I'm really happy to do that. I won't do the full process, but I do want to bring everyone into their heart and just ground into their earth star and soul star. Is that okay before I take questions?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just come into our heart space. Okay. And just consciously breathe into your heart. And just notice as you breathe, you can imagine a light in your heart that expands through every breath. And just expand that light throughout every cell of your body, almost imagining that each one of your cells is lighting up. And then draw your attention, remembering to breathe, down to your feet and connect with your earth star. This is a beautiful star that settles in the earth, in Mother Earth, in Gaia. And just feel the connection of being supported by Mother. Good. And if you find it hard to connect with that, the guides are saying, just imagine silver cords coming from each of your feet down into the earth and connecting with your beautiful earth star. Good. Remember to breathe. And then draw your attention all the way up to the crown of your head. And imagine that beautiful crown opening up, expanding. And then just go a little bit higher and you find your soul star. And this is the star that connects you to all that is, to Creator, source energy, and to all of the times that you remembered who you were. So we can just invite in our guides to be present with us and to give us guidance in the question that we might need to ask. And so it is. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I didn't want to open my eyes. It's like,
I know that's the thing, yeah. But it's nice because we're all kind of in that space now. And it means that when we ask a question, sometimes we're asking a question from our head. And when we're connected in this way, we're asking it from our heart. So just my request is that everybody, if you want to ask a question, come into your heart before you ask it and then ask the question. Alara is yawning.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going to start off with Sarah. Sarah, you want to unmute yourself? I see you're at home now, I think.
I am at home.
Awesome.
Sarah.
Hi, Susan. Yes, we all put our hands up as soon as the thing started, because we all knew we wanted to talk to Susan.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So, as Alara knows, and I won't go into it, I was a pedestrian, was hit by a truck just about a month ago. And so I would be...
I have a chat with them.
What?
I have a chat with them. Hold on.
So I'm interested in whatever information it is you might have for me. I've been looking at what I gained from this, how I open, and it's not my first rodeo. I've been hit before. I'm a cyclist. But what my role is, what kind of connections I need to make, what kind of healing I need to do to move forward and look back on this as a very worthwhile experience, or something that may have absolutely nothing to do with this.
Accidents are no mistake, as you know, Sarah, right? You know that accidents are never.
And I know what I've gotten from the other four.
Yeah. So from the perspective of what I'm seeing in your energy, and that's what I'm going with and what I'm listening to. So I'm going to go with what I'm being told. you're slightly out of your body. So the shock and the trauma has shifted you out. So we would like to help you with that, if that's okay. And anybody else who feels, and anybody else who feels that, well, everyone can receive this. So just let me 1 sec. Thank you. Okay. How do you feel? You okay? Yeah. Your higher self stepped forward then. So what I was seeing was, and what they were saying to me was, you've been a warrior. So the way you were presenting to me was, I've been a warrior all my life, a warrior, right? And it's time for you to put down the sword. Yeah. And step back in, to step back into, they're saying, your empowerment of being a warrior without a sword. So you're a warrior in this life, but in the sense of empowerment and not needing power. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what your higher self is giving me right now.
Well, taking away the sword would definitely indicate a different way of.
Yeah, just go with it, Sarah. Just don't think about it too much. Just, see how it resonates.
Yeah.
All right. If I need to be in a crystal healing chamber, which one would it be?
Definitely the PTSD one.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah. But you're now in alignment. So what I was watching was the energy of that, and I was watching you in alignment, and that's when your higher self stepped forward, Sarah. So before that, it was tricky to see your higher self clairvoyantly, and that doesn't mean it isn't there. It just means the alignment wasn't there. So yeah, thank you, Sarah.
I would just like to comment that through your work and others' work, I've had severe PTSD with my other accidents, and I really haven't with this one. I've been not feeling on edge, and I've been doing all the breathing things and the meditations.
Amazing.
Like that was really a gift this time that I did not go into full-blown PTSD.
What a journey to actually experience though. Wow. And to still be here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alara.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, we're going to go to Layla. Layla, you want to unmute? There she is. Hi.
Lovely Layla. Hi, Layla.
So good to talk to you. I'm well. I'll be doing the package C, so thank you. I took a sneak peek at it. So what happens with me is whatever's going on with someone else, that energy comes into my body, and it's really exhausting. And so we've worked together saying, I'm so sorry that you thought you had to heal the world and it was only ever just yourself.
I remember.
Yeah. And I've said that, and I've also done like clearing contracts. And it seemed to have lessened a little bit, but it feels like it's still happening, and I'm wondering.
Yeah. So what I've noticed with this is that, because obviously trauma is my background, trauma specialist. So I used to feel it. So maybe 20 years ago, I would feel people's trauma, okay? And I would feel their pain. As the time went on, I don't feel anything now. So I can see it and I can experience it, but I don't feel it. And that is because as you raise your frequency and you clear out and you're like fine-tuning everything, you no longer need to. Okay. So I mean, your energy looks great. It's really bright. It's really expanded. Very different. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Very different to how it was. Yeah, absolutely. And I can actually see around you as well that your crown is in the ascension frequency, and it's really opening up. Okay. And the thing that the guides are saying to me is for you is to really honor that you are a divine channel. And as you honor, thank you, as you honor you are a divine channel, you will start to notice that you're embodying that more. Okay. And you don't need to feel other people's emotions because, thank you, because you know exactly who you are. So what the guides are saying is that when you know exactly who you are energetically, honoring it, you no longer will need to feel other people's. Okay. That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course. I was in a channeling course and I do know this.
Yeah. But the main thing about this is you honoring who you are and honoring that you, this to keep shouting it, honor yourself, child, they say, honor yourself. And it is about that. So you don't need, thank you, you don't need anyone to tell you that you are a channel. It's about you honoring yourself and knowing it fully. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's your work.
Okay.
I am a channel. I am a channel for source. You know, just repeat it. I am.
I am.
Yeah.
I am a channel
Yeah.
for source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope it helps.
Awesome. Thank you, Layla.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to go. I know there's some people who also wrote in the chat because they may not be able to, come online. So I'm just going to see. There's a question from Abby.
Okay.
How can we best work with our subconscious mind and also the bigger consciousness effects that will allow more ease and the ability to let go?
Can you rephrase that for me?
I know, I'm like, well, how can we best?
I'm just trying to think about.
Yeah, so this is Abby. How can
Mm.
we best work with our subconscious mind? And I'm going to leave
Okay.
a little bit out. That will allow more ease and the ability to let go.
Okay, so obviously what she's saying is that she finds it hard to let go. That's what I'm kind of getting a sense of then. She finds it hard to let go of things and she wants to deepen her connection to her higher self. Does that make sense to you as well, Alara? Yeah. So one of the ways to do that is to really come into the heart. So we need to pass everything through the heart now and not through the head, because the head is holding the thoughts, the traumas, perceptions of who we are. When we go into the heart, as we did, in that process initially earlier, when we step into that heart, we're actually coming into the authentic part of us. Mm-hmm. So we're able to hear more easily who we truly are and let go of perhaps what we had before, which was a perception. Oh, she's saying I have been affected by all consciousness and responsibility to that. I don't understand that.
No, me neither.
No.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Abby.
Yeah.
Responsibility to healing it.
So we are responsible for our own healing journey. We're always responsible for our own healing journey. No one ever is responsible for our healing journey, and it's never our responsibility to do that for anyone else.
Including the collective.
Including the collective, including anything. But our job, if we can call it a job, is to really connect into that higher part of who we are and look at what our reflection is giving us. That would be the main things I would say to Abby. Yeah.
So then the question comes, how can we let go of some of the blocks, some of the beliefs, and have more ease with that?
Well, our inner work, our inner child, what we'll do process shortly, but the inner child healing is really key. And really looking at that reflection. How does that reflection make you feel? Do you feel afraid? Do you feel ashamed? Do you feel you have to hide away? Do you feel whatever that emotion is? That is the key to letting go. So as you heal that emotion, you're actually letting go of that part of you that held that perception. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So let us know how that resonates with you, Abby. And Joy saying, I did your wing meditation on YouTube and I'd love to know how big my wings are.
Oh, okay. Let me have a look. Hold on. So these are the ascension wings, Alara. This is what she's talking about on my YouTube channel. So hold on, let me have a look going for you. Great question. Oh, okay, lovely. So I can see them as really rooted, really strong, really rooted, and they are expanding. And I see them, I can't see the ends of them, but I can see the major part of them. So what this tells me is that the foundations are really, really strong. And we're just going to, we meaning the guys, we're just going to expand you out. And I can see the edges of them starting to expand, and they have golden tips on them. So that's what I can see.
Beautiful. Yeah. Awesome. So enjoy those wings, Joy. I love the golden tips on them as well. Good. Awesome. All right. Whew. All right. We're going to go to, let's see. We're going to go to Linda. Let's see this.
You're welcome, Joy.
Hi, Susan. I'm so excited that you're here. You are wonderful. Okay, so I have been in a situation lately where I feel like I'm changing a role, and I don't know if that's the truth or not. But it feels like instead of just doing like the physical healing, I'm doing more of like a coaching type of thing. I don't know what the guides have to say about that, or
what they're saying to me is you're standing in your authority. So what they're saying is that you have a different jacket on now, you have a different so I see it clairvoyantly, so they give it to me clairvoyantly, and then they're talking to me at the same time. So I see you in more of a suit. That doesn't mean you wear a suit, it just means that you are in your authority. So you're standing in your authority, and you're standing in what you're thinking, what you're truly meant to be doing, which is guidance for others. Okay. And what I'm hearing is spiritual counseling. So it's like, I heard that as soon as you started talking, actually. So spiritually counseling. Okay. And it is about guidance with authority. And that doesn't mean in a controlling way, of course. No. You're not going to be like that. But in the sense of, thank you. Yeah. Pathway, a map for others. So it's almost like you're helping them map. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
They're showing me that. It's almost like they're showing me a map. And it's like you're able to kind of give them guidance without telling them what to do.
Oh, definitely not.
Which is really key. Yeah, I'm hearing that. So it's almost like opening the door for that person to see what's in front of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been able to do it some monetarily and other ways too lately, and it feels different to me, and I feel like maybe I have a better connection. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they saying that too?
I feel like so I see this all like I see it in my mind's eye. So I'm seeing it almost like the light is coming down, and it was before that, but it's more expanded. So your connection is stronger, and this is why you're stepping into the next role, the next part of your mission, which is to be more in authority. Yeah.
Okay.
As a director in a way. Yeah. For someone's life. Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. And have you been they're sort of showing me, they're showing me the writing as well. Have you been writing?
They always say that to me, and I haven't been picking up my pen, and I haven't been writing, but I have been doing something with I listened to a lady, and she said to say every day, I see evidence of great abundance flowing into my life. And actually little things are starting to come. Not a lot. I mean, it's not big or huge or anything, but I've been doing it 3 times a day, and I think it's better. And then I had an interesting dream last night. I never dream. I hardly ever dream. But I had a dream of my sister who is passed on. And I don't know what she had to say because I didn't remember any of it. But I thought it was kind of interesting that all these things are kind of coming together.
They're coming together, yeah. But the writing is, they just show me like a little notebook, and to have a notebook with you, and then you just, whenever you get a download of information, just jot it down.
Okay, thank you so much. I love when you're on the show, and I love that Alara brings you on. Thank you so much for being here, Susan.
Thank you so much, Linda. Bye.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, I love it too when Susan comes on. It's fun for me too. I love it. Oops, sorry. I think I might have, I don't know. I think you're still there. But all right. So let's see. Where were we? Manisha. I know there's I mean, we're not going to get to everybody, so I'm apologizing right now.
But we are going to do a process, so
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Manisha? Hello, yes, hello, Alara.
Hi, Manisha. Oh, you can just see the top of your head.
Can you see? I've got,
oh, there we go.
Yeah, I've got some cameras. Before I ask my question, I have a very quick question. You have this crystal lotus behind you. Would you tell me the significance? Because I have no idea, and I'm trying to find out. And then I saw you today, and I thought,
I have no idea. I just chose it.
Okay.
I felt a resonance with it. So yeah,
it looks really amazing behind you. Really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Susan, my question is this: I've got a lot of fear. I want to move into the next step in my life of creating webinars, writing a book on IBS, people suffering. So I don't have a large intestine, and I've sort of lived like this for 40 years, but I want to try and monetize, but love to move forward, get over the hurdle of fears, please.
Sure. So, I mean, the first thing that I saw with you when you were speaking was it was about your third eye, which is your inner vision. And what I was hearing was the fear of the future. And so your piece of healing is to go to that point, thank you, of diagnosis. Have you healed the point of diagnosis when you got told? That's where I would definitely go. So they're guiding me there. And by healing that moment when the rug, was pulled from under your feet, in that moment, that is going to really help you, because that fear that you're holding is actually stopping you from feeling you want to see the future. And it's not true, because you do want to see the future and you do want to help others. And I always believe that adversity, you might say it as adversity, actually leads you towards your mission, and you're absolutely seeing that, which is amazing. So I feel your work would be that moment when you actually were told news or experienced something where you were told this is what this is, and that's your healing work. Okay, just one sec. Let me just see if there's anything else to say. Yeah, okay. So, and if you're drawn to it, we'll talk about the package later, but if you're drawn to it, there's a lot of manifesting in the package. So you might have fun with that.
Thank you very much.
But the trauma is the key thing, because that's the piece that's stopping this expand. Okay. All right. I can hear the Syrian High Council here as well. So I feel like this is definitely something that's very, very strong for you and important that you do this work. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
You're
Alara.
welcome.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Manisha. Definitely get going on, on your mission. But yes, you have to heal that piece. So for Manisha, it would be the PTSD chamber, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what she might find is that opens the door. So she steps into it and it opens the doorway, and she's like, wow, okay, yeah, now I can actually see that was in the way, and now I'm clear. to step forward, because I don't feel like it's major, even though it's trauma. I don't feel like it's major because she's well on her mission, with what's happened to her, and how she's then putting that into a beautiful place for others. That is the key. Our mission is right. Well, where am I best serving in whatever way it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the fear of the future piece, Seema also has that type of energy or question. She says, Seema says, would like to ask Susan on my future. Not sure if it's eclipse energies. I'm feeling lost, feel my future is blurred. Just looking for some hope here, unable to come on camera.
Yeah, sure. So that's fine. So essentially what I was getting as soon as you started talking about it was the collective energies that she's feeling. So she's really feeling the collective frequency of the fear of the future. And that is where her work is in this moment, is to know that what she's feeling, it doesn't necessarily mean it's hers. She's really absorbing that. And I actually, thank you. Yeah. One of the things they're saying is that she's actually very, very good at releasing, releasing, let's say, unwanted energies from people. Okay. And so perhaps, entities or whatever, she's very good at that. So I don't know if she wants to type back at that, but there's something that she's chosen to do. And she needs to be able to do it within herself first, so that she then can help others. But collective energy is her thing. That's why she's feeling it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Seema says, yes, I work with people and help them.
Seema, do you work with them in the sense of their energies? Perhaps they have dark energies. Do you work with that? Oh, it resonates. It resonates with her. Okay, she's just written that. Okay.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah. I really feel that.
Yes, energies, not particularly dark, but energies.
Okay. Well, okay. I feel that's part of what you're amazing at. So that's what they're showing me and they're telling me. And I feel like the fog is, perhaps you haven't seen that before, and now it's time for you to see that actually you have got the ability to help people do that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So keep at it, Seema. And Olga's asking, which chamber would you advise to heal the fear/block of showing up my true self and stop hiding and playing small?
I'm just being shown in the field. Give me a second. Yeah. So this is very much around her inner child. It's very much around her inner child. And so really, the trauma one would be amazing, because is that what you were getting, Alara, as well?
Yeah.
The trauma side. Yeah. So I can kind of see her as a child, about 4 years old, and it feels like I'm hiding because it's not safe to spread my wings. It's not safe to be seen. So I would say that one would be very, very good for you. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hold on a second.
Is that a dog?
I don't know why she did that. Mina, if you're here, I don't know why you called me.
Oh.
I'm assuming it was an accident. Somebody called. It's okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that the trauma one is going to be important for a lot of people. Trauma, PTSD.
That's why I put it together that way.
Yeah. Empath healing, right? So that's going to be important for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let us know. Oh, I think that was an accident. I'm hoping that was an accident. Hopefully everything's okay. Okay. All right. So, Susan, I know we're going to do the inner child process, right, as well today. But before that, do you want to just take a few minutes and talk about the packages, and we can talk about the different rooms as well, because people may not, the chambers, people may not even know what that means, right?
Yeah, sure. Just going to get them up on my screen.
I'll share my screen anyways.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, not to worry.
That really helped me, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, I will share my screen.
Because I'm working on a little screen. I've got my little laptop that I'm traveling with. So I'm not able to have like my big screen where I can have you. to the
Yeah.
side. This is
Can you see my
brilliant.
screen?
I can.
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. So yeah, so there's the 3 packages. Package A is 1 month in 1 healing chamber. You get to choose which one. And then package B is 1 month in all of the healing chambers, plus the recordings of the retreats. And then package C is everything in package B, plus the manifesting with the master's
Live
masterclass, 3-day live masterclass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk just really quickly about what it feels like, what it looks like, what are they? I mean, there's a lot written, but just in general.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, I'll just read this bit here. So the PTSD flashbacks, so memories, childhood trauma, what the guys are also saying is looping, like when we loop things, that happened to us before, but essentially contract attachments, quite a lot of the ancestral lineage as well. So they when they show it to me, they clear the ancestral lineage with that subject, whatever subject it is. So in this case, it's the PTSD trauma one, but it also helps you when you are an empath. So empaths are people that are holding that frequency of trauma, and they feel it in another because it is within them. Yeah. And many times we've had to be on guard as a child. So our expanded energy we've almost had to see behind us what's going to happen. Okay. So as we start to heal those parts, we no longer feel the other people. So you know how it works. So I was spoken about it earlier. So that's amazing. One of the things that's really amazing about this as well is surgery trauma. And so what the guide said to me is that, many of us had surgery. I've had surgery in my life, emergency cesarean actually. And what happens with that is quite often, there's a trauma that goes with that you don't know about. Yeah. But the physical body has gone through trauma. So that gets healed in this one as well. So the galactics come in, Mother Mary comes in, many of the different guides, the doctor guides, etc. So it's that opportunity to heal those parts.
And then there's the addiction healing chamber.
Yeah. So addiction is really our want to connect. So what we do is we choose, I spent many years working in addiction in child protection, and I noticed that people really just want to feel safe. And so they'll choose smoking, food, alcohol, drugs, whatever it might be, whatever it might be. And it is that moment of wanting to connect. However, it is seen as you're escaping. And I've never found it that way. I've always found it that people are looking for something to feel connected. So this is really good, this chamber, because many people have said to me that, they've had these addictions and they've tried everything and they've just not known why they've got them. Yeah. Could be to bread, could be to anything. And they've stepped into it. And that just the moment of saying, you know what, I have no idea. Just that moment has allowed them to let go. And of course, in that moment, the guides do their work. So yeah,
awesome.
That's a great one.
So that's the addiction healing chamber, and then the peace healing chamber.
Yeah, peace. Well, I mean, it says it all, really, doesn't it? We all want to feel peace. And essentially, the peace chamber is one where we can just really feel that wave, and we have that peace within our heart. It's just we forgot. Yeah, we forgot. Yeah. So it opens up the inner voice. It opens up that connection to ourselves and to our true inner guidance as well.
And so then there are 2 bonuses, which is the 1 month in the physical body healing chamber and 1 month in the Vax healing chamber, right?
Yes. So I will explain about that because people might need to know. So the physical one kind of says it all. So it works with the physical body, but not just the physical body. But if you've got a physical message and you step into this, it will work with the emotions and obviously, your crystalline light field as well. But it works on why your physical body is showing that message. Okay. So where the shock is held, etc. Yeah. So contract of disease, dis-ease, things like, I remember when we were channeling this, when it was being channeled, they were showing me deep into the body and showing me where these particular emotions are held. So the liver, for example, the blood gets cleansed, the lungs, etc. So every area, depending on you, depending on what you need.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the physical one, and then there's 1 month in the Vax Healing Chamber.
So the Vax Healing Chamber was actually created and was tested for 3 or 4 months with a sample of people that came to me that had adverse reactions from the injectable that people have been guided to have, okay? And so it kind of happened, and I thought, well, okay, if I can help people in this way, and we created it. And the Vax Chamber has been really pivotal for those. Not everyone's had experiences like that, but some people have had experiences where the injection has actually caused them to feel very unwell, or many, you know how it is, many different symptoms. So this is a really amazing chamber if you want to step into it. So it's a soul's choice. You can't put anyone in it if they are not wanting to be in it. You have to choose yourself. And so say you want your friend to be in it, you need to get your friend's permission first, okay? But it really is one for you to choose. So you might have had experiences with this injection, and you think, my goodness, I just really need to clear this. So what it does is it clears out toxicity levels, and it also helps people to clear out the fog in the mind and so on. It works on a very deep level. Yeah.
Awesome. So package A is $33. So that's the 2 bonuses plus 1 month in one of the healing chambers. And then package B is 1 month in all of the healing chambers, as well as, and I'm just going to go down, audio replays from the retreats 1 to 4. So
this was very strong, very powerful. And that's why I'm sharing it today with you, because so the triggers and these emotional events that we've had in our life really affect our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with others, our money relationship, of course, and our mission. And so there are many hours here of healing, which was done recently, actually. It's not that old, so it's this year. And I really wanted to share this with your community, because it goes so perfectly with working with trauma.
Yeah. So there's, the relationship with you, relationship with others, relationship with money, and relationship to your mission. And I think we can all relate to all of these triggers, actually, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So again, you still get the bonuses, and of course the 1 month in all of the chambers, the healing chambers. Okay. So that's package B, and that's $88. And then package C is $133. So you get everything in package B plus the 3-day live masterclass on manifesting with the Ascended Masters. And that's happening next weekend, I guess.
It's May, actually.
Oh, it says May. April here.
So it's not April. Yeah, it's actually, you've got a bit of time, which is really good, because it gives you time to do the work, the other work, and be in the chambers. So the point of it was that. So you actually had time to be in the chambers, experience that energy, and then go into the manifesting with me.
Okay, so live, I will change this, just in case you're all wondering. I will change this. It'll be May. So whatever May 24th, 25th, and 26th happens to be, that's when it is. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And that's going to be so exciting, because we're bringing in the masters. We'll be working with the crystalline light field. We'll be working with optimal ascension. So that's going to be can't tell you how it's going to be, because it will just be what we need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll know when it happens. Yeah. And so package C is $133. And so for this package, there are 2- and 3-part payment plans available. And of course, for all packages, if you are an Inner Circle member, free or VIP, please use your gift code as well. That can assist you. So again, package A is 1 month in one healing chamber plus the bonuses. Package B is 1 month in all the healing chambers plus the replays of the retreats 1 to 4 plus the bonuses. That's 88. And then package C is 1 month in all the healing chambers, the replays from the retreats 1 to 4, the 3-day masterclass happening in May, and the bonuses for $133. and the payment plan is available for that. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, please do type that in the chat. And yeah, so thank you so much, Susan. These are awesome. Oh my God.
Welcome.
So,
You're welcome.
I mean, it's
You're
like,
welcome.
yeah, so I was like, I want to do the retreats. I want to do the master
You can
class.
come on
Like,
them.
I know I've never done like work with you in any in any of your programs. I've never had just never worked out timing wise.
Come on the masterclass. Absolutely, it'd be amazing.
I know. It's like it'd be fun. Okay, 1 second here. I'm just checking really quickly. Oh, that was your phone, Brenda. Okay, thank you. Okay, it was like, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, good. So just really quickly, just seeing if there's any questions about what we were just talking about. So there's a question from Layla. Will the vax help with old vaccines, like from 50 years ago as a child?
No, this is specifically this one. Yeah.
Okay, great
the other,
question.
I have got a chamber for things like that, but not in this package, but there is a chamber for
If you don't know the discount code, email me. It's not something I give out for everybody, just know, for all of YouTube land or whatever. So email me. You have to be a member of the inner circle, free or VIP. You're not a member of the VIP, so send me an email and I will let you know. So Olga says, these look amazing and very generous. Thank you, Susan. Definitely will do B or C. Yeah, do C, because that way you get the 3-day manifesting masterclasses as well. Okay, so definitely if you can. And it's in May, so it's not April.
It's all recorded as well. So I'm live, but it's all recorded. So absolutely everything I do is always recorded, so you never miss out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I can't believe not recording anything, it's like,
I know.
All right, so those are the 3 packages. Yes, very generous. And there's wonderful testimonials on the page as well that you can take a look at as well, so you can see them. And Layla says, I've done 2 of the masterclass retreats. Awesome. It's amazing to be together 3 days in a row. Yes, absolutely. Elle says the retreat is happening on my birthday. Oh, that's wonderful. So the wonderful birthday gift for yourself. And if you can't be there live, you can always get the recording. Okay. So, because, sometimes on our birthdays, we might be out celebrating. So I totally get it.
And it's equally powerful. So, because it's energy. So, you're experiencing whatever you're experiencing in the now, or in the moment you listen. Yeah,
exactly. All right. So do you want to do the inner child process? Yeah. Okay, awesome.
I can see them all gathering, and I'm just going to ask them which they would like to do, because there are many. Okay. All right, good. Let's do this. So we're all in a beautiful space, but we're just going to reconnect for a moment into our hearts again, and just breathe into our heart. So we're coming out of our mind and into our heart mind. Good. And just reconnect with your earth star under your feet. And it may have changed color. Get a sense of if it's changed color or not. And then reconnect with your soul star. And this time imagine a beautiful beam of sparkling light, almost like a shower over you, coming down over you, right the way down to your feet and down into this beautiful golden platinum earth we're creating. Let's take a deep breath. And we're just going to invite in our angels. I actually see the Rohani angels around us. There's a lot of softness, beautiful heart energy. Rohani means of one heart. And we bring those beautiful angels in. Good. And we're just going to invite in our guides, all our helpers. And even if you don't know who they are, just invite them to step in, to be with us today, be present. Okay, so I want you just to think about an area in your life where you may feel that there could be some movement. So maybe you feel that you're stuck, or you feel you would like to experience something and you're not experiencing it, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's freedom, whether it's your body, whatever it might be. And just consider that just for a moment, and with no judgment, just consider that and feel how that feels. Okay. Okay, good. So this is a process that is called the emotional wall. It's a very, very powerful process, and I'm going to guide you through it. So I want you to imagine that what you are thinking about is perceived as a wall in front of you. So just imagine that wall for a second. Okay, good. And then I want you to imagine that you are standing behind that wall, and that you have a child standing next to you. You just get a sense of how old that child might be, even if you can't see them, even if you don't know, just get a sense. And just notice how that child feels, that the wall is in front of them. And the question might be, can they see over the wall? And if they can't see over the wall, then this is stopping them from actually being free. And this is your inner child. So what we're going to do now is we're going to heal that part of you and bring them into your heart so that that wall is no longer there and you can step forward. So I want you just to get a sense of that child once again. And I want you now to imagine that behind that child, you can see 3 beautiful angels. And each one of them steps up to the child and lets them know that they are there, that they are safe, that they are loved. And one of the angels steps forward, and she's holding a beautiful basket full of sparkling stars. Each one of these stars is pure and just for your child. So I want your child to choose the star that feels like connection. Just notice what color it is if you can. And just get your child to take that star of connection, hold it in their little hand, and place it in their heart. Just take a deep breath as they do that. And then I want them to choose the next star, which is the star of unconditional love. And I want them to do the same, choose the star, hold it, and place it in their heart. And just take a deep breath as you feel that expansion. And then I want them to choose the next star, which is the star of acceptance. And just get them to take that star, hold it, and place it in their heart. And then I want them to look in the basket, because there is a magic wand. And I want them to find that magic wand, and it has a star on the top, and to choose it out of the basket. And as they do that, they hold the magic wand in their hands, and they realize that they have incredible healing powers just for themselves. And as they look at the wall, they notice that the wall is actually smaller or invisible or see-through, or it's actually not there at all. And if the wall is still there, get your child to wave their wand and disappear that wall. And know that the angels are with them, and guiding them and supporting them and giving them the courage. And then I want them to look at what is beyond where that wall was. And they see. Sometimes they see fields, sometimes it's the sea, sometimes it's a playground, unicorns, whatever it might be, blue sky. And I want you to notice how that little child feels. And I want you to turn to your little child and say to them, I'm so honored that you're here today so that we can heal together. I'm so sorry that you felt you had to put this wall up to keep yourself safe. I'm so sorry that it's been there for so long. And I'm so sorry that you forgot. You are an incredibly beautiful, divine being of light, choosing to be human. And just notice what happens to your child when you say those words to them, as you are acknowledging them, maybe for the first time. And then I want your little child to look in the basket where the angel is still holding. And I want them to find their crown of sovereignty, the beautiful crown. And I want them to place it on their head. And as they place it on their head, they start to feel this energy of remembering that they have a very, very important reason for being here. They remember that they are sovereign, no matter how old they are. There's something within them. They know that they are so much more than they thought they were. And as they do that, they realize that they want to be inside your heart. So I want you to imagine that with a whoosh of their wand, they come straight into your heart to be with you again. So imagine your little child within your heart, expanding, feeling excited about life, about the future. And as you feel that, you start to realize that whatever it was that was stopping you was not really ever there. It was just your perception of yourself in the world. Now you know there's nothing stopping you. I want you to say these words, and as you say these words, imagine you're stepping over the threshold where the wall was, and you're stepping into new beginnings. As I let go of the past and the limiting belief, I now step forward into the present, which creates my future. I remember who I am. I remember the light within. And I remember I'm never on my own. Take a deep breath. And just imagine yourself feeling free, maybe dancing around, experiencing that light, experiencing the newness. Maybe the colors are brighter. Maybe you can hear everything around you. And I want you to imagine that that picture in your mind of you, this new version of you, becomes a snapshot. And you bring that picture into your heart where you're sitting now. And it expands throughout the whole of your field, expanding to the next new optimal timeline of your life. what is possible for you now? And when you feel ready, with no rush, you can open your eyes.
Am I here or am I? Oh, yeah, I'm still yawning. Oh my goodness. That was lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. It was so. Chris says, I feel so free. Yeah, I was like, just being able to perceive that wall gone, it was like, and then seeing on the other side, it was like, oh, so nice. Joy says, thank you so much. Move to tears. Roshni says, my favorite process. Thank you. It's so powerful every time. Oh,
there's always a little bit of us that's hiding away, that, hasn't shown itself. And the emotional wall was born from when I used to work with veterans with PTSD. So it was born from that time because they didn't want to say again what had happened to them. And so the guides gave it to me so that we don't need to know anything. We don't need to know what that trauma was necessarily, but we know that there's something stopping us. So, yeah.
Angela says, beautiful. My inner child was amused. Olga says, I felt so much love. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. And like those beautiful stars. Oh my goodness. It was like, it was so nice to see what she was gonna pick, Yeah. Layla says, feel it in my solar plexus. Alice says, I still felt terror, calmer, but so afraid of loneliness. So
it's working with, so obviously that was generic for everybody, but essentially if you did it again, you could say, what does that child want? So if I'm doing it individually with someone, there will be different stars. So there might be freedom, there might be your mission, there might be, peace, there might be many different ones. But when I'm doing it generically with the whole group, the main ones are connection, unconditional love, and then whatever else comes to me at the time. I
don't remember now either. Linda says, tears of joy. Tanya says, I was crying, but there was no wall. I loved the stars, and so did she. Oh, good. Minish says, thank you so much, Susan. It was powerful and was knocked out until the right moment. I received a message on my phone and brought me back. I'm feeling free, liberated, and ready to move into my own power. Nice.
Amazing. Good. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm still yawning. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. There's no shift going on. A nice alignment going on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah. So, but that was just a short process that you can do again and again. Like Roshni says, this is one of her favorite processes, and it's different every time, and it will be different every time if you're willing to allow yourself to receive in the moment what's coming up, right? So, I'm just like, thank you.
There's some water.
Yeah, drink water. I need to drink water so I can function and still do the call.
I've got some ginger tea.
It's available in the audiobook too. Awesome. Good. Thank you, Layla. All right. Susan, where are we now? So it's like, oh my goodness, we're still, some of us are still processing, right? And that's okay.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself to continue.
Just take that time. Yeah. Because that part of us, part of you has been outside of you. So if you imagine it as, in psychotherapy, we would say the fragmented self, but in energy and spiritual awareness, it's that part of you that's just been outside of you, acting like that age when you made decisions about being seen, or made decisions about speaking your truth, or made decisions about your mission. It's like you're no longer that child. You are now that integrated being, standing more in your power. So yeah.
It's interesting. I used to see, I used to have this image of me looking through the fence, like a fence, like a chain link fence, and I was on the other side of the chain link fence looking in, right? But still, it's a wall, right?
Yeah. Could be anything.
Yeah, and so it was interesting how that image was coming to me when you started talking about the wall, and then the wall in the process for me, it was almost all gone when you said if it's gone, but there was still like a little bit of like on the sides and just a teeny weeny bit left in the bottom, right? So then my inner child used the wand and got rid of the whole thing, right? But and that's okay, right? So allow the process to be what it is, without putting any meaning to it. And then being able to walk through, to the next phase, right? On your journey.
And quite often they give it to me like Julie Andrews. So, that scene in The Sound of Music, many people know that one. So when she stands there and she's singing on the hill, and it's the symbol of freedom to me. Yeah. So that's quite often what I'll say, imagine you're Julie Andrews.
It's true. No, that was powerful. And allow yourself to, be the child or the person that you are on the other side of where that wall was now. Right. And so like Manisha says, she feels liberated, she feels free, she feels like she's in her power. You can also feel that for yourself, being in your power, being free, being able to create and move forward on your life and your mission, on your path, on your journey. So imagine what that would be like. Oh. I love this. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So any last words of wisdom for us all, Susan? Because it's like we talked about so much, right? Your guide stepped in and gave us some wonderful messages for everybody, or for a lot of people, not everybody. But is there any? Yeah, exactly. So is there? What is the last words of wisdom that you or your guides have for us today?
What I'm really hearing is that your trauma does not define you. So I believe this is Joshua actually coming in, and he's in many other chambers, but your trauma does not define you. It just allows you, he's saying, to expand to the next level of consciousness as you have your awareness of the next level that you need to go to. So he's showing it to me as this piece of you is not a definition of you. However, it gives you the opportunity to expand to the next level by healing it. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. He's stepping in here really strongly. And it is about, thank you. It is about surrendering to that and not saying, this is me. It's always been me. So this is me. I have to hold this trauma. I have to hold this story, because the story is just a story. Yeah. It doesn't mean who you are, but it has created a beautiful space for you to grow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Elle, just breathe through. She's having some pain at her heart. So I'm just asking her to just breathe through it. Don't
There's heart opening, massive heart opening that happens. And how beautiful that it's happening on this eclipse energy. This new energy in Aries, where we're really stepping into the I am present. Yeah. So how beautiful. See it as there's nothing wrong with me, just that my heart is opening. Yeah.
So just affirm that, Elle, for yourself. There's nothing wrong with me. My heart is opening. Okay. You don't have to, let's see. Yeah. She says, okay. Yep. And just breathe, walk around, get some water. Okay. And
big healing happens. And when we've held that for such a long time, our child has held that, and perhaps it's never been acknowledged, with that compassion piece, never been acknowledged. I'm so sorry that you felt that way. I'm so sorry you put up this wall. Yeah.
Sure.
And actually, if anyone does have any feelings that they're, emotional, then just to actually acknowledge the emotion they're feeling. So I'm so sorry you feel so sad. I'm so sorry that you've held this for so long. I'm so honored that you're allowing me to release it. So it's really acknowledging that compassion for ourselves.
Yeah. All right, Elle, so work with that, please. And then send me an email, because I know you were wanting the code, right? So send me an email. Don't forget to do that as well. And it's okay. You're fine. Just remember that you're okay. You're okay. Yeah. All right. Layla, I'm so grateful for you, Laura and Susan. Thank you for this time together. It's so rich with love and compassion. Yes, definitely. And we always have so much fun together, don't we, Susan? It's always a wonderfully expansive time.
Yeah.
So I love it. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for all your questions, all your feedback. Thank you for being here, sharing this space with us as well, co-creating this beautiful space with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. So I hope to see you then. But until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Thank you again, Susan. It's so wonderful to see you. And I'm so happy that you're going to these book fairs and everything that's happening. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a good evening,
Thank you.
Afternoon, etc. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Lots of love.